Ships exit Gulf from Iran despite US blockade. At least 3 ships sailing from Iranian ports crossed the Hormuz Strait despite a US military blockade, but some vessels taking the route later turned back, maritime tracking data indicated Tuesday last. They were among the least 7 Iran-linked vessels that passed through the strait after Washington's blockade came into effect. The Liberia-flagged bulk carrier Christian crossed the strait after unloading 74,000 tons of corn at the Iranian port of Bandar Imam Khomeini in the Gulf, passing Iran's Larak Island in the strait. A second ship, the Comoros-flagged tanker Elpis, was near Larak Island. It was loaded with 31,000 tons of methanol, having left the Iranian port of Bushehr in the Gulf. Maritime analysts have cautioned during the recent weeks of conflict around the strait that ships' signals in the region have been disrupted and manipulated, making precise, comprehensive tracking difficult. Iranian forces effectively closed the strait after the war broke out, with US and Israeli strikes on Iran on 28 February. The US on Sunday announced its own blockade after peace talks with Iran failed. The US military said Tuesday its blockade had held and it had stopped 6 vessels from sailing out of Iranian ports outside the Gulf during the first 24 hours. No ships made it past the US blockade, and 6 merchant vessels complied with direction from US forces to turn around to re-enter an Iranian port on the Gulf of Oman. Outside the strait, Regional Command CENTCOM said in a post on X. It said the blockade was being enforced impartially against vessels of all nations entering or departing Iranian ports and coastal areas, including all Iranian ports on the Arabian Gulf and Gulf of Oman. A Chinese tanker, the Rich Sterry, also crossed the strait overnight from Monday to Tuesday via the Iranian-approved vetting route south of Larak Island. Vessel was carrying 31,500 tons of methanol and was bound for Sohar in Oman, according to data from its transponder. Thanks for watching. Stay with us.